Christina Ratnanirum, but you can call me Lina. And my student numbers is 21810000320057. And now I'm going to explain about the first is if I were a teacher, what kind of storytelling I'm choose for teaching EL. And when I teach the storytelling method, using the storytelling method, I will choose a fable type story, because I think in a fable there are many moral values that are taught to us through characterization and storylines. And in addition, fable is traditional story that features animals as the personification of human, both character and issues discussed of to convey the message contained in it. And I think animals are creatures that are around and very familiar to children. Since childhood, the children have been introduced to animals for either from the surrounding environments or reading books for earlier childhood. Those children can imagine and receive the stories using their imagination. At elementary school students, they are at a concentrate operational stage where they need something real and contextual to be able to understand knowledge. And in addition to making lessons more interesting, fable stories can also be a bridge for students to more easily understanding the material that is abstract and difficult to understand. And the second is I'm going to explain about the steps. And when I teach with the storytelling method, the steps I take are as follows: opening, then main activities, and the last one is closing activities. Now I'm going to explain about the opening activities. The opening activities, the storyteller or the teacher will attract students' focus with a concentration game, so as to create a two-way contact between teacher and students. And the first steps is greeting. We can say at greeting something like hi dear students, how are you today, something like that. And the second is checking students' attendance. After greetings, we can say, okay student, first, I will attendance you first, and if I call your name, please raise your hand, something like that. And the third is observing the condition of the class. Yeah, if the class is not conducive, not enthusiastic, or very noisy, yeah, then we can do icebreaker activity to restore the enthusiasm and focus of the students. The fourth step is explain about the current learning activities, and the fifth is checking whether students have prepared all of the books and the stationery needed in English lessons. And the second activities is mind activities. Yeah, mind activities, namely storytelling activities, right? And in here, the teacher brings the story by paying to words, body gestures, and sound games, so that it displays a visual image in the minds of students or the audience. And the story that will be given in a fairy tale or a fable title containing a message is related to the material and students' experience. And in main activities, I can divide into warm-up activities and 4 activities. Yeah, at warm-up activities, there are three steps. And the first steps is read the story, read the introductory sentences, and the second is ask students like, do you know what a fable is? Yeah. And then the third is remind pupils that a fable is a story that teaches us something, and the characters are often animals. And in the warm-up activities, I will insert steps to improve student learning skills by encourage pupils to ask if they don't understand what is a fable. And the first step is activity 1. In activity 1, there are five steps. Yeah, the first steps is asking students, readings to listen the stories, something like, are you ready to listen to the fable stories in your book, something like that. And the second is read the story with the introductory sentences and the story too, and pupils follow in their pupils book. And the third is read the story again. Yeah, allow pupils time to look at the illustrations on page 62 and 63 as they listen. And the fourth step is ask volunteers to read the fable aloud. Then we can get pupils to focus on what the mascot asks on page 62. Ask for volunteers to answer the questions, and the mascots asks, what did mouse deer say to make the other animals jump into the hole? Yeah, and the second activity, in activity 2, there are 5 steps too. And the first steps is have pupils look at the fable in activity 1 again. Then we can ask them the questions to review their understanding. Yeah, the questions like what happened to mouse deer? Then we can ask which was the first animal to come by? Then what did mouse deer say? And then we can ask which was the second animals to come by? And we can ask which was the third animal to come by? And the last we can ask how did mouse deer get out of the hole, something like that. And the third activity is that get pupils to read the sentences in activities 2 and to number them in the correct order, into the correct order. And then after that we can check their answers as a class. And the last is ask to a volunteer to read out the sentences in the correct order. Yeah, and then the third activities in main activities is there are 3 steps, and the first steps is get pupils to look at the fable again in activities 1, and then have them read the fable and answer the questions individually. And the last is check their answers as a class. Then the fourth activities from main activities is there are 3 steps. Yeah, the first steps is separate pupils into groups of 4 or 5, then get them to discuss the questions and ask the pupils to share their ideas with the class. Then the last steps is closing activities. The closing activities is providing opportunities for students to express their opinions, express message verbally about the stories they have heard. Yeah, and there are 6 steps we can do. The first steps is asking students how about the moral values of the moral message from the story Mouse, Deer and the Big Hole. And then the second is draw conclusions from today's lessons. And the third is assignments. Maybe we can be in the form of worksheet made by the teacher or a photocopy of workbook. And the deadline for submitting assignments is also stated. And next steps is remind the students who haven't submitted their assignments. Then instructions for saving English books and preparing books for the next lessons. And the last one, the last part and the last activities is a closing greeting like, okay students, our study time is up. You can save all of your English books into your bag and please prepare for the next lessons. And don't forget to do your assignments for next weeks and enjoy your recess time. Good afternoon, something like that. Okay, I think that's all that I can explain about the steps of how to teach by storytelling method. Thank you so much for your attention and bye.